I'm ZoWilliams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss a woman's ass. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my nip.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
ZoWilliams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
Do I know?
Yeah. I can't do it like you, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to Throwback Radio, aka H-Town Part 2.
Gotta wear Timbs and act like you mashing a roach when you singing this song in the rain.
Right.
Just with one foot, twisted.
Yeah.
See,
Start this shit over.
Y'all can't see. Zoe was in the back shadow dancing, like rolling his body. Y'all missed it.
Really?
Yeah, he was right. He got a dance audition to get to at 6:30.
Failure at improv. This shit is terrible.
Horrible. Why are you so horrible?
Hey, where my music at, man? Hit me again so I can get this right. I'm ZoWilliams, the voice. Turn this shit up, man. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss a woman's ass. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my nip.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
ZoWilliams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
Y'all just gonna do the whole thing over here?
Yeah.
It's Groundhog's Day in this motherfucker.
I was just saying, you can't tell me that ain't the hottest intro in radio.
I do like the intro.
Come on.
My favorite part is the pinches the nips every time.
I love it. Hey, I love it. I love it. Listen, I love that intro. We are killing the game with this radio show. It's Wednesday, hump day.
He wasn't killing with them
Yes.
dance moves though.
Here is my theme music.
Oh.
When I walk in the scene, the angels sing, "Here this nigga is. Here to save us all."
What kind of angels?
The good ones, goddammit.
I wasn't sure.
Okay, I need you to fall easy, okay? Before I set them loose on you.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, fall easy, Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, Raphael,
Donatello.
Stand down.
Right. Just throw the Ninja Turtles in there.
The Ninja Turtles. What? Okay.
Like a triceratops.
The Splinter
Pink
Angel.
Ranger. Pink Ranger.
And this is why
April O'Neil.
This is why we
Tom,
doing this
Jerry.
goddamn show.
Yeah, everybody. The King and I, everybody. Everybody's invited. Everyone can sit with us.
Y'all don't even know.
Niggas don't know nothing besides Gabriel or Michael. That's it. You can't just keep naming other people.
Are you just making them up?
You want me to? No. Have you read your Bible?
No,
Their names are there.
He really was saying the angels, but it's like, you know, everybody don't know.
I ain't
nobody
never heard them
Gabriel.
angels. I read the Bible from cover
Shit.
to cover.
And really?
It took a year, but yes, I did it.
Just a year.
What was the name of the one that said Jesus was coming?
I'm just about to say,
Revelation.
fall easy, breezy.
The producer hate us. He keep pushing this
Oh,
button.
I'm sorry.
Jesus. All right,
You think you all that because you read a lot of books.
let's just pull it together. This shit is going bad.
How many times I'm gonna push this R button down? Y'all niggas ready?
Play some circus music for this nigga.
Circus?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have
Sorry.
to bring back.
Sorry.
Hell no. This is what we gonna do.
That's how your mic get cut off.
I'm about to bring back an old favorite. You know what it is, don't you? Cut that motherfucking mic off. See, sometimes people got to be reminded. Who's motherfucking Jean-Luc Picard up in this bitch? Number 1, engage. I guess no Star Trekkies. Okay, fine. All righty.
I was with you.
I was with you too.
I didn't know you wanted a wink or something.
Listen, welcome to the Voice of Reason. It's Hot Button Radio. Let's just get right to it. Okay.
Oh, now you want to play H-Town.
Yeah, exactly.
DJ Late.
If you're new to the show, please forgive us for the foolish banter that led nowhere. The show is really about relationships, right? And we try to tackle very tough, difficult conversations. We try to add a little levity. But the reality of it is we want to spark your mind. And sometimes we're a little ratchet. We're going to always be outside the lines.
Oh, yes.
But I also want to feature the female voice, right? I do another show on Mondays called the What Morning Show. It's on T Radio V, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And it's a male panel. So I decided to assemble Galtron and get the girls.
Girl Voltron. That's for the slow people. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Jesus. Wow.
We know that this is that kind of day today.
Fucking context cops. Anyway, yeah. But I try to bring them in and allow them to speak in a forum that's comfortable, that's non-judgmental, that's objective, that allows women to get their perspectives across. And we have women from all walks of life. Veronica Conway. We like to call her Ronnie Con.
Oh, yes.
She is an internationally known transformational life coach.
Hi, Veronica.
Her music is being cued as well.
Can I say hi to Veronica?
You can.
Hi, Veronica. It's Tyree.
Hi, beautiful people.
Don't be trying to like people.
Hi, Veronica.
Yeah, so beats me. So beats me when y'all not here.
Girl,
you're hilarious right
you would
now.
love
He
my.
beats me when y'all not here.
You would love my type of beating. My beating is requested all over the world. Daddy's old man, can you beat me from the inside out? Sure, baby girl. Just be patient. Take your little ticket. You sit over there and you wait your turn.
Veronica is not having
Everybody's
this
uncomfortable. Everybody outside is uncomfortable. We're all uncomfortable.
Veronica, like, you gonna do this bullshit on my intro? What is we doing?
Okay, no, but we love Veronica. Veronica's ready to do this show. We prepped Veronica before you guys got here.
Ooh, excuse me. I'm happy to hear you, Veronica. It's Veronica.
I'm happy to hear you too.
Now, let's intro the other people. The people in the room. Of course, we have actress, comedian. They both got credits. They're both comedians. They're both beautiful. They're both intelligent. A little obnoxious. But I love it. A little sarcastic. We've got Aarona Lopez. What a boo thang.
Hi there. Hi,
MC
folks.
Bottom Heavy.
Yes.
Hey.
I'm in here looking like an out-of-work backup dancer. Look like I used to rock with Hammer back in the day, put a bitch back on. How y'all doing? Chicago, what's up? All right.
And her friend that we trying to be friends with. We trying to learn her and shit.
Yes. To my right, we have the fabulous, lovely, colorful Tyree Elaine in the building.
How you doing? I'm scared to say anything.
Don't be scared, pimp.
Don't be silent. I thought light-eyed people. He liked the bad guy in Meteor Man with the blonde hair.
Okay. She getting real close.
I told you that's the same dude from the 5 Heartbeats. That's Flash.
It is. You like Flash,
close.
but the bad.
She getting real close. Engineer, keep your finger on that
No. I'm just playing.
Anyway, goddamn you. Today's topic is a heavy one. I want to know if you guys are ready to deal with it. We talk about everything that impacts relationships.
Absolutely.
Now, religion impacts relationship. Oh my God, especially in the African American community. Not saying it impacts us more than other communities. It impacts us differently. Today's topic, Reverend Copperfield. This magical motherfucker The art of religious sleights. I'm sorry. The art of religious sleight of hand. You got a lot of people out there taking advantage of people. My mother passed April 23rd, 2009. Shit feels like yesterday. She spent so much money on prayer cloths and holy water in the little vials. And, you know, when we start talking about the money that is generated from prosperity teaching and all of this and that, God, I love you. I'm just saying, we have to start, asking. I mean, a lot of people, religion, church, God, belief, all that stuff is kind of like mama, right? Beyond reproach. It ain't never wrong. But sometimes in order to progress as a people, we have to take an objective look at the belief systems we believe in and ask the question, can religion be detrimental?
Absolutely.
And this is why we call it Reverend Copperfield, right? This magician. He takes perfectly good, strong, independent, intelligent people, and he has the power to turn them into sheep. Look at our guy, my guy, Holyfield. Well, maybe Holyfield's a poor example. His job was to get hit in the face. So maybe his brain wasn't working quite right when he gave all of that money to Creflo Dollar and now he's broke. Well, hey, but there are a lot of people out there who don't fight fists for a living and still give their money away. Take Ben Carson. He's running for president. He's a brain surgeon, probably the best in the world, and yet he still believes the earth was created in 6 days. Eesh. Somebody got to just say, come on now, just some of this stuff is allegory. Does it even say it in the Bible? It does say this is allegory. What is an allegory? Do people even know? The religious literacy of America is exceedingly low. We are like religious retards. Everybody that goes to church or mosque should wear a crash dummy helmet because spiritually, I know people think I'm being a little harsh here, but when you're spiritually dumb and dependent, right, on an intercessor. Somebody, let me take your message to Jesus, okay? Because I was anointed when I was in the bassinet. I remember one of my little booties came off my foot. I remember all this shit, okay? I was around 37 hours old. You understand? Then the angel Jebril. Nigga, who's Jebril? That's how I say it. Jebril came. And they got this story and people buy into it. And I'm just saying, does the church create apathy in our community? Does it create victimhood? Is it archaic? Is it anti-woman? Ooh, where the feminists at when Jesus come in? Hey, what about the concept I'm married to Jesus? The fuck? Well, the congregation is the bride of Christ. Men too? What kind of gaiety? What we doing? I just want to know. I have questions. I'm confused. I want people to help us. The phone number to dial is 844-55-1. We want to know what you think. As is commonplace, I have questions. Can a prayer cloth heal your sick mama? God damn. 844-55-1. Jesus. Does religion, right, treat women like second-class citizens based on religious teachings? I know people don't want to hear it, but fuck it. Let's ask the question. God ain't gonna be mad. He created language, so we get to curse. No, you don't, goddammit. Oh, excuse me. Oh, Jesus. I want to know what you guys think. I really do. Veronica, this is a tough show, but we got to do it. True or false? Religion anchors believers to the Iron Age. Is this true? Are you anchored to the Iron Age? We live in an age of technologically advanced everything. Everything is moving at the speed of technology except religion. Is it a hindrance? Can we marry someone without a religious anchor? If we didn't have a religion, does that mean we, by definition, don't have God? Can we have God without religion? I just want to know. I got questions. 844-55-1. Who wants to chime in? Scary.
I ain't never scared, but you asked Veronica first, didn't you?
I know. I'm just talking to people.
You changed your mind?
Well, step in here, Billy Badass.
Billy Badass. Which one? You asked 4 questions.
Pick one.
Okay. Can you have God without religion? My answer is yes. Yes, you can, because God is a personal experience. I used to go through this period, right? Well, forget that. Let's start over. When I was 5 years old, right? I knew nothing of religion. I knew nothing of customs, people. I knew nothing of the way things are supposed to go. None of that. But I definitely remember not necessarily hearing voices. You got to be careful for the crazy people out there.
You heard voices?
No, not like that.
You had a Joan of Arc moment?
No, I had a spiritual intuition.
Speak on it.
I had a spiritual intuition. I was 5 years old. Like at 5, you don't know how to articulate that. And from that experience, I knew that I was with God. I knew that God loved me. I knew that at 5. And so I remember sitting next to my mom one day in church, and I was like, Jesus is waiting on me. And she looked at me like, what are you talking about? I'm like, come on, let's go. He waiting. And she was like, I guess. So even in that experience, that was me making my own personal choice with any type of ramifications or any pressure, right? Fast forward, you grow up in church and you see what all of that stuff is about, and you know, people, they shortcomings, etc. You get indoctrinated with what society is telling you what you're supposed to do, and there's a lot of incongruency. So when I was a teenager, I ain't believing nothing. I was like, none of this makes sense. I don't like none of this.
Hallelujah.
This is stupid. Because you get intelligent, and your intelligence tries to figure everything out. It wasn't until I was in a car accident that almost killed me that I realized I'm not in control of anything. I want to say anything. I am in control of my thoughts, and my thoughts do create things.
No, you ain't in control of nothing.
You know what? You ain't even in control of the wardrobe. You keep coming in here with the bullshit. What is this? Cut me off. No, but seriously, like, I lost control of my SUV, right? The back tire blew out 70 miles an hour. We on like the 101 freeway. For those people that don't live in LA, it's like a 4-lane, 5-lane freeway, right? Doing 70 miles an hour, the truck like goes topsy-turvy where the back end goes down, the front end goes up. We almost spun off to the side on the exit over there where Encino is. And I lost control of the car. Like, I had no control of the car. I cut the wheel and closed my eyes. My eyes weren't even open, y'all. And I crashed into the side ravine of the freeway. No cars hit me. I hit no cars. I cannot explain that. I was not in control. It was not up to me. And I had a male passenger in the car who screamed and let out a noise that I will never, ever want to hear a man make in my life.
He was a B. Scott?
He was what?
None.
He was scared he was about to die. What he couldn't do nothing but take it. He was in the passenger seat.
Chris Tucker?
Man, listen, I don't ever want to hear that noise again. You hear me? That was not the business.
So that was God?
I definitely was saved in that experience. I could not be here. Look at Left Eye. Look at Aaliyah. Come on. There's a purpose for me being here. And that hasn't been fulfilled. Hallelujah. So I'm here.
Hallelujah. Tyree.
You keep playing with God. My mama gonna call this number. She is. She gonna call. I'm looking at the engineers.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, don't call no gang members up here.
My mother, where do you think I'm from?
The gang of Christ. Don't act like you motherfuckers ain't a gang.
Oh my God.
Now speak on it, Tyree.
Listen, I understand both sides, why people are turned off by religion. I totally get it, and I understand the importance of religion. My mother worked at a church, so I grew up in there, you know, and she had me in, so it wasn't like she had anybody to just watch me. I was there. So I understand the business behind it. I understand all of that. And then when I got to be a teenager, I was like, I believed in myself, my looks, whatever. You know what I mean? All I know is I'm cute, and all I know is what I'm gonna wear to school the next day, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That was the most important thing to me.
Pro-kid
Then
life.
when I got to be, I'd say grown just now, recently, just a bunch of the same thing Aarona was saying, just like things that you can't control. The way things ended up for me, it wasn't like it wasn't really a physical dangerous type. It wasn't a car accident or anything like that. But I was a teacher. I was working at an elementary school, and I was miserable. Hadn't laughed in a year, lost all kind of weight. Was just miserable, and I didn't understand. That's all I had been doing since a little bit after I graduated. I'm just like, why am I so unhappy? I had quit doing stand up in an effort to be normal. To be a normal woman. I just want a normal man. My man gonna work at the post office, DWP something. We gonna be normal. We gonna go, travel, take the kids, whatever. We gonna go out to eat at Sizzler and them every Sunday. We gonna, that's normal. Cause that's normal. That's what we gonna do. It's nice and safe, nice and easy. Don't rock the boat, right? One day I'm driving down Laurel Canyon and I can't breathe. And I literally had to go. I called 911 and they was like, we could send somebody. I was like, oh, I don't have $2,500. I think I can breathe again. So I held it together, went to the ER, and I was like, I don't know. They were like, are you okay? And I was like, I don't know.
So God had to choke you to remind he was in control?
No. Basically,
because I'm confused.
Basically, I had an anxiety attack. I thought it was all that ranch I was eating because I was like, surely all of this bad eating is catching up with me.
Wingstop?
Yeah, all of it. All the lemon peppers. I can't breathe. I had an anxiety attack, and the doctor said we could put you off work for a long time, but we strongly consider you thinking about not returning back to work. And I'm like, well, what am I going to do? I felt so useless at work. I'm like, I don't feel like I'm impacting the kids anymore. What am I supposed to do? It was like, you need to like figure out another career. And I'm like, well, there's stand up, but then I won't be normal. And then I got last comic standing from not doing stand up. No representation, had changed my number, didn't give it to no bookers. Literally one booker who had my email address submitted me, and I got last comic standing and made it to the semifinals without having done stand up in a year. There's no way. Got it right after I got on disability.
So, but how does God factor into that?
He didn't want me to continue to be miserable, I think. And he like, just the way it happened, I didn't ask to get submitted to last comic standing. I didn't ask to go on disability. I wasn't even sure if I was going to be paid. Like, I didn't know, you know what I mean? I'm like, no, I got to go back to work or whatever. They're like, no, you got enough hours to be good, just chill. Just chill. I honestly think God just wanted me to relax.
Interesting.
I honestly think he wants us all to relax. And if you don't believe in God, you should still relax. It just makes sense. Worrying never got nobody nowhere, nothing. Never got you no further than, you is right now. But you know what else says that? The Bible.
Oh, Lord.
I'm just saying.
Veronica?
I'm just saying. The Bible just so happens to say the same thing that makes sense.
What verse is that? Please help us.
I don't know. Look at us.
Jesus.
Act like I work here.
These Bibleologists. I don't know. Shit.
I didn't say that.
Okay, well, I can tell you that that's definitely in Philippians. Be anxious for nothing but with prayer and supplication.
The homeboy Philip.
Yeah, the homeboy Philip.
Philippians.
Matthew.
Philippians.
Also, Matthew. Don't worry about anything. Look at the birds of the air. Look at the flowers. Look at the grass.
That's Matthew 25.
That's Matthew 25. Matthew. I guess I do work here.
Oh, ye of little faith.
I would hope so.
Do you know the
Veronica?
Bible? You know these Bible
Speak
scholars.
on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in here. So in the same way that we, so you and I had a recent conversation about historical reclamation, where we understand that white supremacy has gone back and rewritten history to paint itself in a favorable light, right? I think what needs to happen is that we need to have spiritual reclamation, meaning we have to understand the historical facts about how religion, spirituality, and our innate capacity for being spiritual creatures has gotten distorted and bastardized for purposes of control. Okay?
Definitely agree with that.
So we are very powerful divine reality creators, right? And we're so powerful that left to our own devices, we'd be miracle machines, just like both these beautiful ladies were pointing to. They experienced a spiritual event that awoken them to their innate and inherent power, which is powerful. We all have that capacity. The thing is that if we were left to our own devices, we'd be miracle machines, which would be fundamentally and by definition disruptive to the institutional infrastructure here on this planet.
Wow.
If we walked around inside of our natural capacity to create miracles on the regular, we would not be controllable. We'd be free.
So let me ask you this question. Let me ask this question to everybody really quickly.
Amen.
Does the Bible or the Quran or the Torah or the Injil or the Zabur or the Dharmapada or
you think you ought to
the Vedas, right? Whatever, the Upanishads, whatever. Do these holy books give us life? Or is it the other way around? Do we give those books life? Do we keep those things alive?
Yes.
Well,
yes.
Yeah. If Cat in the Hat was just Cat in the Hat, if Cat in the Hat had nobody to read it, would it still be a book? Aha.
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 You need somebody to read it. Yeah.
I would say this. I would say fear is definitely something that is institutionalized and used to keep us bound to these books as the only alternatives.
But who's pushing the fear?
It's the institutions behind the books. Not necessarily. Because like I said, even with my experience at 5, based off that experience, and I know it was real, and it's, kind of hard to put into words, especially from the mind of a 5-year-old of what was happening. I knew in that very instant it was God, and I had an instant connection to God. So it's like what Veronica says, like if you always know that and that state of mind and state of being is always with you, then yeah, it is hard for institutions to control you. It is hard to not be responsible for your life. The problem is people just like taking the easy way out.
Say more about taking the easy way out.
People like taking the easy way out. I mean, like...
I got you, Veronica. I'm coming to you.
Like, for instance, right? Even in relationships, right? Which, we talk about a lot on the show. I mean, you can just treat people right and do the right thing and be honest. Harder to do, but it's not... Well, no, it's not harder to do. It's easy to do, but it's unpleasant. So people want to feel good all the time, and I don't really feel like doing that, and I don't want to face that. So I'm going to just shut down and do this because this is easy for me. I could read and learn something, but that might take too long. I could go on Google. I got a smartphone, but Instagram is popping. Why educate myself? I can. I got the free time. Clearly, I'm on the internet. But no, I don't need to do. I don't want. Just somebody tell me what I need to know. Somebody tell me what I can do. So what are we supposed to be doing? This is how I go. Okay, just tell me that. People want the easy way.
Wow, interesting, Veronica. And then Tyree's asked.
So I'm going to say something directly from my experience around that question about do we give the book energy or does the book give us energy?
Right.
So one of the companies that I built, that I don't really talk about much, but I'll talk about it because it's relevant here, was around a thing called the distance energy machine. Let me just give it to you real succinctly. It's like, how XM radio is? It's like if you have a satellite in the sky and somebody has a transmitter on the earth, right, and they subscribe to XM radio, that satellite can send a signal to that transmitter, and you pick up the radio, right? So we built a company around a thing called bioetherics, which is a distance energy machine for humans. Same thing. You can send a massive frequency broadcast to a human being and basically turn them into God people, basically is what it does. So to these very high frequencies. One of the things that we could do with this distance energy machine is you could invoke any being, alive or dead, and experience the energy of it, right? So you could write on a piece of paper, you could put it on the machine, you could experience God, you could experience Jesus, you could experience the devil, you could experience Obama. You could literally feel the frequency and the vibration of that entity in your presence. So, for example, we put Jesus on the machine, right? And the energy of Jesus is very interesting. It's like love, 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 love. I love you, like I love you, like I love, like love, 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 love. The energy of God as a frequency is different. You can feel like the omnipotence of God, where it's like God kind of comes down and this big hum, and it's like, oh. What I will say about it is it's not even so much about whether the person called Jesus existed. What's true is that human beings as a collective have thought about it, prayed to it. They had collected this kind of universal force field that summons that energy over and over and over again. And so it has a frequency on the planet, whether he was real or not. It's the prayer and supplication to the idea that has gathered energetic momentum on the planet. And so that's what people are tapping into when they pray, when they do all this stuff. It actually, you can prove it in science. We've proven it in science.
Interesting. You know, this is a very deep topic, and I ain't scared of it, goddammit. Religion, everything should be, we should be able to call everything to the floor. And what happens is, because certain patterns bring us comfort, we tend to not want to disrupt the comfort that they bring. Right? Mm-hmm. No one wants to ask the real question about, number one, does the book tell you your purpose for being here? Any book, any holy book. Does it tell you why you're here? Why you were born? That's number one. Number two, does any book really give insight on how to relate to one another intimately? Because I believe when we don't understand what it is we're practicing, that is a source of conflict when we're relating. Like, what in the hell is equally yoked? What is that? Right? Like, all of these things have to be broken down. To me, when I see sisters, right? When we look at sisters, in particular, African American community, what is it? 85% population of those black churches are sisters.
True. Mm-hmm.
Right? They make up 85% of the population of African American churches. Where are the men? How come men don't follow?
Because men have a hard time following behind a man that they don't agree with or believe in.
Or maybe men sniff out the pimp in them, the hustler in them.
Same thing.
And men can't submit to another hustler or a pimp.
They can't submit to a man they don't respect.
Well, I mean, I don't think God's intent for that was for anybody, male or female, to submit to any man. You know, that man is, even that pimp, whatever, preacher is supposed to be in submission to God, and it's just a teacher. You know what I mean? Ultimately, you go to school and you learn how to do things, but it's really up to yourself to really want to learn. The teacher can't force you to learn. You have to. That's why you have to have a relationship with God. Like, I don't really care for religious practices.
I like it.
I really don't.
I like it. Say more.
Yes. I can't stand so. Yes. But I love him with the love of the Lord. Play the church music. Where's the Fred Hammond? I thought we talked about this. Anyway, so
you done came in here demanding shit? Just like a Christian.
But you know what's funny? All right, so don't get God started. I got a sign that say that. Don't get God.
Oh,
anyway, no, like it's very simple. Like there's a very big difference between religion and relationship. I was at church this past Sunday, and there were people who I was visiting that church. I have not been to church like that in a really long time because I just got back into comedy. You know what I mean? So I didn't have the time, but I still pray. I still have a relationship with God. Yes. And I know how to go into church and have a reverent respect. It's people who go to church religiously and don't have a reverent respect for God because they don't have a relationship with him. You know? I don't have a relationship with my father, right? Mm-hmm. So it will be a little bit difficult for me to have a reverent respect for him because I don't really know him like that. You know, I mean, I know what he looks like. I know where he lives, but I don't really know him intimately like that. And he doesn't know me. My mother, the only reason, because I feel like my mom is listening to this, because I think she just got on my Facebook and saw church and was like, oh, yeah, I love my mother. We have that intimate relationship. So I'm going to abstain from using profanity just because, not because of no religious whatever, just because there's something inside of me that has a reverent respect for her. Now, that didn't come from reading no book. It didn't. But if there was a book, my mother did write a book, Casting Your Pearls Before Swine. I don't know where it's sold. I should. That's my mama. Is that bad? Anyway, I feel like I read it because I love my mom so much. She didn't make me do it. she didn't. She dedicated it to me. I'm her only child, but I read it because I love her so much. And I think that's the whole purpose of the Bible. If you want to get to know God, and God does that, what he did to you at 5 years old, I think he does that to people in different parts of different parts of their lives. So, and then it's up to you to respond. All of that religious act that you see that you don't really know if it's true, I think it's a response to whatever God has. And, sometimes people take advantage of what that response looks like. And it's unfortunate, these institutions.
So what I want to do is ask you all one more question. We're going to open up the phone lines. The number to dial is 844-55-1. The question I want to ask, I mean, you guys made this delineation between religious and spiritual, religious, dogmatic, and relationship. I want to hear, because like I said, we don't challenge hard enough, in my opinion, the bullshit in our community. We don't go at the neck. Like, so I want you guys to give me 3 examples apiece, right, of how religion, I ain't say nothing about spirituality, how religion damages or affects negatively our relationships.
I can go.
Yeah.
The first one, when you go to church, just because I've experienced this a lot in a black church, at least, when you're at praise and worship, and the praise and worship leader might say to a person who has never been to church, "Oh, you think you too cute to praise God, huh? Oh, I guess he ain't been good to you. Oh, I must be preaching to myself. Oh, I see what it is. Like, you
We're
can't
not here to entertain you.
Yeah,
why do you say that?
Yeah, why do you say that? Then why are you up there and I'm down here?
Is the church keeping you guys single?
That's one. I don't think so, because I have a relationship and I know how to sniff. The same way that men can go into church and sniff out a pimp, I can sniff out somebody who's playing with God, or who's just dealing with it because they know I'm into it. And I'm not even into church, quote unquote, like that. I go to a church that they have service, quote unquote, on Saturday nights. Not be, and they be, oh, you 7th day. No, just because the pastors are younger people and they want to, it's geared toward younger people and they want to keep them out of trouble. Like, stuff don't go down Sunday morning, stuff goes down Saturday night. So that's why, they do church Saturday nights, and it's fellowship, and they have different things throughout the week. But yeah, that's basically it. Number 2 is putting fear in people. Don't nobody want. I wouldn't want to be, if I was God, I wouldn't want people to love me because they're scared that I'm going to kill them or something like that.
But that's what he says in the Bible.
Well,
he does say that.
I think when you have your own relationship, you can go, God, what did you mean by that? Make it clear to me in today, throughout my day, make it clear to me what it is that you meant by that particular scripture. If you have any kind of questions about whatever, go, God, I'm trying to get to know you, whatever, like you would anybody else. So fear, because that's not, I don't think, that's my opinion. I don't think God would want anybody to love him out of fear, because I wouldn't want to be loved out of fear, and I'm created in his image. That's just my opinion.
I love it.
And the third thing is that I think religion or religious institutions, like the judgment. Ooh. I can't stand the judgment. I hate the judge, because it makes you hate. You know what I mean? Like, well, God told me, because I have a problem with profanity. I do. And so if somebody tells me, God, it makes me, think, well, I have, it's a problem I'm struggling with.
Okay, yeah.
I'm struggling with. What is your struggle? So maybe we can talk about that together.
Okay, Tyree, I'm going to need you to get off my couch now.
Okay, bye.
Thank you, baby. $600, because she really got all that shit off her chest.
I mean, he asked for 3.
Because I'm tired of people, and then when they be serving wings and shit at the church, I don't. Okay, take it easy. Aarona, you're 3. Please.
You get on my nerves. Oh yeah.
I have a big problem with the fear factor as well, but the 2 that I want to focus on is, well, I guess 3: the idolatry, shame, and then the lack of originality. The fact that everybody has to, that the uniformity, I guess. I really don't feel like there's necessarily a specific right and or wrong way to praise God. You can't acknowledge something if you don't believe in it. You can't praise something that you don't believe in. You know what I'm saying? So if there's belief there, and Just like how you're, like Hustle had a great example last week about riding a bike and training wheels. If you're on a bike and you got training wheels, you're just trying to learn. Like, there is no, well, you're supposed to do it with your right foot first, and it's always the right foot. It's like, if I'm paddling, then I'm making the effort, and that's what really matters. Everything is about intention. Everything is about motivation and what's in your heart. So the idolatry, these ideals, these constructs of what we're supposed to be doing when the average person don't know more than you know. Everybody just lost trying to tell everybody what to do and police each other. It's stupid.
I like that.
It's stupid. Okay. And then the shame factor, which still goes back into this whole idea of you're doing it wrong. And it's like, well, how do you know? Veronica? You broke. How you know?
Bro, what?
You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't own like islands. You're not enlightened. You haven't developed any cures, patents, or nothing. You're just somebody that was appointed somewhere in a community trying to tell me because you think you know. And it's like, well, what have you even done with your life to have all of this authority to tell me?
Wow.
Nothing.
Veronica?
Yeah, I think that the fundamental relationship that that organized religion has destroyed, especially in the Black community, and distorted is the relationship to the self, to the human.
Yes.
And what I mean by that is our concept of God, and it exists in understand, I forget who said it, but it's like when they showed up in Africa with the Bible,
Desmond Tutu.
All the indigenous folks, right? They shut their eyes, and the white man had the land, and the natives had the Bible. Black folks had the Bible. So understand that not only is Christianity a fear-based religion, because remember, in slavery, they whooped your ass 6 days a week and gave you Jesus on Sunday. Why? Because you had to have an outlet to recover yourself from the absolute horror that was perpetrated against your body, the absolute terrorism that was perpetrated against your body. And so they gave you a white Jesus on Sunday, so that because they hijacked African spirituality. We used to have our own deities. We used to have our own orishas. But we've gotten so far away from that because they gave us white Jesus and said, pray to him, which was basically saying pray to the white man, who's whooping your ass 6 days a week. So understand that it was a very sneaky, tricky thing that the European did, was to put that on our consciousness as that which we should give our allegiance to, so that we would transfer our allegiance to our real God to the white man. That's the trick that got played. So that's a distortion that happened, and that's what religion did in terms of destroying the Black person's relationship to himself.
In addition to that, Veronica, what it really did is it put into, which we still suffer from today, this whole mind state of salvation. It's this whole mind state of,
perpetual victimhood.
Yeah, we're doing this and doing this, but if you just do this and live this good life, your reward is later. Suffer this bullshit right now. Everything has to be hard right now. But guess what? Later on, it'll all pay off. Later on, it'll be like this: salvation, salvation, salvation. Where our very constructs and models of Black churches today is of savior concepts. The reason why some of these pastors get away with being pimps and, extorting money from churches is because they have people around them waiting to be saved by them. They have people, it's pastor anniversary, so we got to bless the pastor. Okay, when your bills due though? When they gonna do that for you?
Oh, this is genius. Listen, I am so stoked. The conversation hasn't even gotten started yet, and you guys have really laid down a very heavy layer of dogmatic nougat. It's like
and now the phone lines are full.
Dogmatic nougat. That sounds like some stuff you need a wipe for. Or two.
Listen, I'm going to take a quick break, but when I come back, guess who's going to join the show?
Who?
The homie seer Carl.
Yay!
Is about to turn it up even up another notch.
Okay. Carl is bae, low key.
That's how about it. How about it?
How about it? The phone lines is cracking. We gonna get to the callers. It's about to get crazy up in chill. The voice of reason, Hot Button Radio. We'll be back in 2.2.
Catch your position.
Yeah. Can we come back now? You know you messing up. It's cool. It's cool, Mike. We need to play some Latino church music.
Oh, the
Iglesias.
I don't go to
The Iglesias, the little circus music from. And they be in there with the banjos and tamarines and everything. They be on fire.
That is an interesting sight too.
You are so stupid.
He's telling me waiting on Menudo. That's what he said.
What's wrong with you?
No, seriously though, we having a conversation about, you know, religion's negative effect on intimate relationships, right?
Yes.
Sometimes there's this interfaithful relationship that becomes difficult, right? Like a Muslim and a Christian being together, right? And this is me. I always tell people, don't date your ideas, right? You obviously seen something bigger within each other that drew you guys together, and then the conflict is an idea. It's ideological. It's cultural. It's, you know, a book, a concept. Well, conceptually, I'm a Muslim. Well, what is a Muslim? Define Muslim. Oh, one who is of peace.
It's a Capulet.
Well, I'm a Christian. Well, what is a Christian? Oh, one who follows Christ. And so these ideas are like the shield that you guys repel each other with. And if you were to get those out of the way, you guys could actually interface.
Capulets and Montagues.
You feel me?
If you will.
Exactly.
Where my Romeo and Juliet fans at?
I see you. Go ahead, show you.
Come on now.
Shit. Handle your business.
Did you just say, bitch, show you right?
No, I didn't say that.
Hilarious.
But it's interesting what you hear. But yeah. So we talking about, you know, some of the negative stuff. Like you guys labeled fucking shame and guilt, and God doesn't need any of those things. And I think it ruins. Well, I don't want to get that far into it. We got phone lines
blazing.
I want to welcome everybody back. Tyree, Elaine.
Yes.
Okay, Elaine. That's one of them old school names that ain't
Bible
nobody
name?
named no more. That's dope. I like that, Elaine. Tyree, Elaine.
Thank you.
In the
I think
building.
I'll keep it because this nigga like it. Yes,
Well, okay,
yes,
Jesus.
I will.
Wow. Okay, and then we have Aarona Lopez, and then we have Veronica Conway on the line, the voice of reason. We're talking about, you know, some of the difficulties that religion can cause in a relationship. On the line, my homeboy. He is a seer. Good friend of ours, good friend of the show.
Ah, yes.
Carl is in the building. Carl! Line 4, man. This brother here. God doesn't like ugly, apparently. Carl. What's up, Carl?
You telling me I got a face for radio?
Listen, Carl, you've been listening to the show. We want to know, like, where does all of this religious consternation comes from? Why is it even necessary? Does God need religion? And do our relationships need religion? I want to know. How does religion serve us, man? Or the other way around, how do we serve it?
This is the perfect topic, you know. Today I was at the bookstore, and I went over to the section labeled, I think it said Iron Age. And,
the Iron Age.
You know, since I was left to my own devices, I started looking at all these books here, and I got this book called the Bible, and I got one called the Quran, and I got one called Star Wars, and I got one called the Bhagavad Gita, and I got one called Lord of the Rings. Anyways, I was wondering, can you tell me which page in this book tells me who I am? Which chapter tells me what I came here to do? I'm really curious. It's a big stack of books. Is there a page that tells me what I came here to do? I really want to know what page it is. Can you help me out?
Wow. Wow.
I think as human beings, you know, as long as there's human beings on Earth, we'll always have some kind of religion because human beings love to get together and worship stuff, right? I mean, I guarantee you when I go to the bar and look at those people worshiping football. They're having the exact same experience the people in church are having.
Wow.
That's deep.
You ain't lying.
Wow.
People are fans of Jesus.
Praise Raiders. Yes.
Wow.
They like to sit in the stands where it's safe and never go on the field. They sing the song "I'm on the battlefield," but they'll never get out there.
Oh yeah.
And just be fans.
Oh yeah.
They fans.
Oh yeah, and act like they play on the team, but they don't.
Carl, continue.
Well, I find it difficult to have true reverence for anything that puts a block between me and God.
Wow.
As I've observed the religions, I've noticed in my own exploration that there's true Christians out there, and there's true Muslims, and there's true Buddhists and true Hindus, and they're pure, and they, in a childlike, innocent way, actually follow the teachings, and they're good people. And you observe their life and their community, and it works. So what's going on in the other 90% there?
Wow. Wow.
Some of the concepts they perpetrate on you, like the whole concept that Christians have about being sinners, has always puzzled me, especially with all the metaphysical information out there and iPhones and the internet. It's like if you believe in your mind that we're all sinners, then you believe that you're a sinner. So no matter what you do, even if you don't speak it or act it, you'll go on sinning in your mind because you believe that we're all sinners. But what happens if you stop sinning? Then what are you? It's like when you run into an alcoholic who hasn't had a drop for 15 years and they tell you I'm an alcoholic, and you're like, no, dude, you were an alcoholic. You haven't had a drop for 15 years.
Wait a minute, Carl. Let me understand this. Are you saying we have no purpose to the God of the Bible or the Quran or whatever holy book if we're not sinners? How dare you?
Well, you know, I've noticed how many Christians end up breaking their own heart by believing that.
Oof.
Because I highly doubt the creator that created all that is would create you with such a concept. I think I learned in junior year of high school that the concept of sin was made up by a Catholic Pope 300 years after his death. Right. Right.
Carl, there are a lot of skeptics in the building right now, looking sideways. I need to take pictures of the twisted up lips.
That's just how I look, okay?
I actually was thinking about how like people just make up anything and run with it when he was saying that. Like I don't like old people in church because I feel like they just be making up songs that ain't really real songs. And you're a sinner if you don't know the song. I went to a church and seriously, they were singing "Jesus is the landlord." Fix it, Jesus, fix it. And I'm like, who made that song? I've never heard that in my life. They were harmonizing.
Hear the land.
Seriously, there's a leak. Oh Lord, there's a leak in this building. Is that a real? Dude,
That's the song?
It's on
Are
iTunes.
you serious? Dude, I started laughing.
Let's hear it for a second.
This is the song. Hey, listen, I ain't never, ever
there's a leak in your
heard
building.
that song ever in my life.
So if it's a leak in the building, do you get to be late on the rent? I don't understand.
I was like, what is this song? What are they promoting? What are we doing right now?
I know. I don't know. Maybe it was supposed to bring you laughter because it's supposed to be funny. I don't know.
Let me ask this. Does your capacity and ability to love, right? Mm-hmm. Is that the real religion?
I think so.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
And is that exists whether we had Christianity or Islam or anything like that, or any religion, that exists regardless, right? Mm-hmm. So in my sense, like Carl said, to me, like this religion stuff is like this film. It's like a filter that actually obscures one's ability to see the God in another person.
Yeah.
I mean,
because if there's no love, then you're just a loud mouth, whatever. You know what I mean? You could be speaking the truth. You could be speaking powerful things. But if you don't have any love behind whatever it is that you're saying, nobody's going to want to listen to you anyway. And if you're, perpetuating fear, then people are going to give out of fear of poverty and fear of whatever. You know what I'm saying?
But isn't that 99% of all? I would say at least the three major religions.
Well, then that's why you as an individual have to make sure you work out your own relationship with God and not be looking around at what other people is doing, and ultimately at the end of the day, it's all about mutual respect for everybody's beliefs. Unless it's a situation where, because I've dated guys where I felt like, and I use this term loosely, we were not equally yoked simply because he didn't respect what I believed. He just didn't respect what I believe. And ultimately that's what it was. It was a lack of respect. It wasn't that, I don't necessarily see us getting anywhere because you don't know what you believe, or you believe Christianity is the white man's religion or whatever. It's like, if I tell you I practice a certain thing and you tell me, well, you shouldn't do that because whoop-de-whoop, I don't even know if I want to be your friend because you can't respect. All it is just, okay, well, I believe this and we can agree to disagree and then that's it. But then if you want me to be led by you, and you know what I mean? Like, if we're a family and we're a unit, we should all have, to some degree, the same type of relationship with that type of entity. You know what I mean? God or the universe or whatever. It should be similar, because when mommy gets sick, what are we going to do? How do you handle adversity? A lot of people handle adversity, you know what I mean? In a godly way. I was dating a guy. He claimed to be a Christian. And then, he got laid off from his job. And I'm like, well, baby, let's pray. He said, I'm going to the bar. I'm not like he became himself. He was like, no, that is how I handle adversity.
That's what I was about to say. What if that's who he really is? Well, does that mean it's a deal breaker?
Yeah, because that's not how I handle adversity, because then you're going to come home drunk and I have to deal with that.
So
and
he
I have
has
the
to
right
handle adversity the way you handle it?
You know what? That's and here's a great example. Will Zoe respect that's what I want to do? Will Zoe respect that that's what I want to do? Yes. Yes, that is a deal breaker, because I don't want to deal with somebody who's going to come home from a bar, liquored up, liable, doing anything. I don't want my kids to see that that's how they should handle adversity. No, I don't want that. And it's, at the end of the day, it's just, well, hey, you do you, because that's not, is that messing with your money or your situation or whatever? Then just respect it. That's all.
Right. I can cook.
You can get in the kitchen. Yeah. You can throw on the apron.
I can smoke
you can turn
a bag
around,
of that.
touch the ground, do the. Yeah, you can do all of that. It's just about respect, because everybody's grown and everybody's gonna do what they want to do at the end of the day.
Carl, do you think respect is the real religion? I think it is. I think if respect was religion, then we'd have something else. We'd be cooking with something. I think things just become dogmatic. I think that's the problem. Whenever we dogmatize something, we concretize it. And then when we concretize it, it becomes a fucking culture. And now it's a culture. We need tradition. And what is tradition but rapidity? We just repeat it over and over again, right? I mean, what the... Carl, what are we doing, man?
Let me smoke some of this.
Exactly, right?
Do you? We respect it.
I do know this. I've never met anyone who drinks alcohol to check in.
Ooh. Hey, I know some people like that.
I do too. I'm a creator.
I know some people like that.
I would love to bear witness to that. But most people drink alcohol to leave their body and escape their problems with a fermented beverage, so it just ferments their problems into their body.
Ugh.
And the more they avoid it, the more it builds up. And then they smoke some weed. And then they go, oh my God, weed makes me paranoid because I'm actually feeling how my body feels. And my body hates it here because it's full of everything that I'm avoiding and all my judgments and anxieties. Religion? I like what the Sumners wrote down in clay 10,000 years ago. They're the ones that, one of the groups that Jesus studied. They said, if you judge your food and eat it, you eat your judgments.
I like that.
Yikes.
I like that.
I'm going to put that on a meme.
If you judge your chair and sit in it, you sit in your judgment. If you judge your smoke and smoke it, you smoke your judgments. If you judge your drink and drink it, you drink your judgments. It goes on and on. It's everywhere in our entire reality.
I think you hit on the.
He is killing right now. Go ahead, Aarona.
No, it just goes back to that whole escapism and easy. People want easy. People want, hey, somebody tell me what to do and how to do it, and then fine. Like even the concept of having a beer to let the edge off was an idea that was introduced to people. Hey, if you do this, you don't have to think about nothing and you'll feel good and whatever. And it's just easy. But ultimately, what we can all agree on is love is the ultimate energy, and love is the things through all things flow. You can have respect for a person that you love.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But see, I don't even think we get to that. I think the religion also builds into the conditions that we have for our partners. The conditions are connected to the expectations. The expectations are connected to the disappointments when they are not met. Disappointment leads to frustration. Frustration leads to anger. Anger leads to the tantrum.
Because love is the true thing and the true source, and people don't understand love or spend enough time
But isn't religion
practicing
supposed
love.
to be teaching us how to love?
Well, yeah, but we already then agreed across the board that is promoting, uniformity and control, not necessarily love.
Because you have to.
It's promoting uniformity.
Love is something you do. Can't nobody really teach you how to do it.
Which what brings it? Love is the religion. You feel me?
Yeah.
And if you practice love and you study love, then you know that love is unconditional. And then you would act in that way and think in that way, and it would lead you to lead a certain life and do certain things. And it's hard for love and fear to exist in the same space.
It's impossible for love and fear to exist.
Fear
in the same
cancels out
space.
love.
So
You're
that
right.
means just listening to you guys say all of this beautifully eloquent stuff. I'm coming to you, Veronica. That means, to me, you guys have basically said that love is rare. I mean, exceedingly rare. Because most people are functioning in what you just described.
Oh, yeah.
Stereotype-based relationships, gender-based roles. I mean,
that's what's perpetuated.
Inflexibility, conditions, standards, beliefs, concepts, ideas, dating, interfacing through concepts. I mean, Krishnamurti, one of my favorite philosophers, said, "It is conceptual thinking that is ruining the world." Right? It's
schemas.
I need your concept, your ideation of who I think I am. I need my idea of who I think I am to be confirmed by your idea of who you think you are. And when our ideas start fucking each other, we have a good relationship. It's the idea that is inflexible. Right? It's the people are scalable. We grow and evolve, and it's the idea. This is why I say our ideas, we should check on them like produce.
To see if they're still good.
To see if they're still fresh. And if they're not fresh, throw them motherfuckers out.
And then the body will follow. And you will start changing your relationships. And you will start changing your behavior.
But here's the thing. How many people going to throw out Jesus? How about it?
How many
people going to throw out Allah?
I mean, if that's what's working for them, no.
But see, that's the working to do what?
Whatever. It ain't doing nothing to you.
But here's the thing. If it's working to maintain something, when, I love the way Carl says this, Earth is campus. I've always taught this way when I dealt with religions. I always say religions are schools. You got to graduate from these schools. Back in the day before the establishment of religions, what do we have? We had mystery schools. And mystery schools were designed for you to graduate.
Right.
They weren't designed for you to just traditionalize and be in some shit your whole life because grandmama and them was raised that way. They're designed for you to evolve. Carl, what do you think of that? I mean, Veronica, then Carl.
Well, and I've said this before, I think on your daytime show, though, that I have an experience, and this experience was actually born out of sex. I've always said that really high frequency, high calibration sex is in fact one of the staircases to God, which is why religion, which by definition makes you ashamed of sex, right? By definition, because it's considered very sinful in most cases, except in the case of procreation. But one of the things people don't necessarily understand is that sexuality was taught in the mystery schools as being a staircase to God. So when I had an experience where I was engaging with the chama, and it was on the phone. It was at a distance. We weren't even in person together. And I had this experience where I came to understand. It's like the energy vortex that he was running with me was so potent that it took me to an experience where I met the moment of separation. And what I came to understand is that we as human beings, when we get here to this planet, we often experience this profound moment of separation when we actually we cleave, we disconnect from source, we disconnect from our godly nature. And that moment is so terrifying. It's so terrifying that when I went back to that moment, I actually experienced my own compromise. That in fact, it's when we disconnect from God, and we come to realize that we are here on this planet and we have to rely on other humans like dysfunctional parents and all kinds of people that are fucked up and that we realize that we're completely helpless and we're at the effect of this earthly realm. And so that moment of terror is so terrifying. It is so, it's so terrifying that it by definition sets up an imprint spiritually of compromise. I believe that religion exploits that moment. It's that moment of compromise and fear that religion steps in and says, hey, I got all the answers for you. You are a spiritual being, but you got to go through them to get back to you, to get to God. That's fundamentally how it got set up.
Interesting. Carl, would you like to slap this thought around?
Man, Veronica is a mystery school.
Isn't she? Pull the veil back. No, go ahead. Go ahead, Carl.
He got to make everything dirty, Carl. Excuse us and Zoe, okay?
Now, you heard Veronica just talked about the villainization of sex. I'm just being open and free. And you take your little religiously taught self out of here.
Then can you put your shorts back on?
Girl, if my shorts was off, this room would be really crowded.
I'm from Chicago.
This room would be really funky.
I come from the R. Kelly school. Ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of bump and grind. With legals, with of age people, though. Like, okay, I got to put that out there. With people of age. Anyway, Carl, you were saying?
Yes, Carl. Continue.
Well, when I had to resolve the issue of religion for myself, honestly, Zoe, I don't even know why you listen to a word I'm saying. I mean, I cut my fingers off twice in the same tool in 10 years. But what I came to realize was that many Buddhists are confused about the difference between Buddha and God. Just like many Muslims are really confused about the difference between Muhammad and God. And I notice many Christians are really confused about the difference between Jesus and God. See, what I began to realize was that not only was Krishna, Buddha, Lao Tzu, and Jesus all the same soul, but they all had a similar message, because Jesus wasn't a Christian. Buddha wasn't a Buddhist. Muhammad was Muslim. Krishna wasn't a Hindu. And never did they say, hey, when I'm out, when I check out of Campus Earth here, get together and worship me. Because all of them would never teach to worship them. I think Jesus, I've never read the Bible, but I think Jesus said something along the lines of, God is my father. I had a dad, and I'm certainly not my dad.
Wow.
And I think the metaphor is pretty clear. Because the matter of Earth being a campus for the individual soul is a paradigm that's very real to me. And each soul on campus here is at its different point. In fact, each one's at its own unique point in its evolution. Some souls are on their seventh day, and some souls are done and volunteered and came back, and everything in between that you can imagine. And once I realized that all things physical are spiritual, because all things physically human are for the individual soul. One of the reasons the soul comes into the body is to experience the physical world, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So taking a dump is just as spiritual as going to church. Once I realized that, I was like, whoa.
Wow.
All things human are spiritual, man. Throwing a deuce is as spiritual as going to church. What?
Keep it 100, Carl. Go and say that. Seriously. Here's the problem that I have with like everything, right?
Oh God.
You can definitely find grains of truth, right, in any religious book that you read. But then you also have to remember that they were rewritten by scribes and people with agendas and passed down, and you need to learn this and that and this and that. And so, until you have a one-on-one spiritual connection, with your creator, it's not going to matter anyway. None of that stuff is going to matter anyway.
Agreed.
Until you come to a realization where you, face yourself, face your purpose for being here, and, search for enlightenment, all that stuff isn't going to matter anyway.
Can you find your purpose in these holy books, Carl? Are they? I'm just asking. Like, can you find the purpose of your relationship? Like, why you're with a person? Can they find their purpose?
What page was that? What page was that? Oh, I'm in. What page? Is there an index in this thing? Glossary?
Wow.
What page is that?
See, I think it's really interesting that, regardless of where you look, you'll still end up hearing a lot of the same information if you listen. Like in, Eastern Asian cultures, they still believe that thoughts become things. And in the Bible, it's as a man thinketh, so is he. Mm-hmm. And I've never read the Quran, so I can't give you the Quran version, but I promise you it's in there as well. And it's like all of these books hint at, hey, God is within you at all times. You are him in human form. He implanted himself in you. What that means is spirit. You know what I mean? Like you came into this physical body for an experience, like you said.
But you're saying something very powerful here.
God is in you.
You said you hadn't read the Quran.
I have not.
Why?
I just haven't.
So let me just...
I can't even say because I think it's wrong or I just haven't.
But let me just say, if God is everything, right, we have to discard the fear of experiencing God in everything. And I think sometimes we have to deal with the reality. Religion creates tribalism.
I agree.
I'm a Christian. So
that's why you called me a gangbanger?
My tribe, that's why I called you a gang, right?
But see, here's the deal.
There's no Christian, Muslim, Republican, Democrat. I mean, it's a gang. It's blood, it's Crip, it's red, it's blue. I mean, that's what it is. The Crusades, Christian, Muslim. I mean,
here's my deal. Here's my deal. The reason why I haven't ventured into it is because I stopped venturing into the Bible years ago as well. It's one of those things where I'm at a point in life where if I read something meaningful from a book, biblical, religious or not, what I take from it that I find useful, I use. Think and Grow Rich. Okay, it's not my end all be all of financial literacy, but the things I found in that book, awesome. I remember those things. Mm-hmm. And that's it. Like there's, like I said, Eastern Asian quotes and Buddhist quotes. Like I have a friend who's a Buddhist and they send me.
You're going to hell for reading Buddhism. I
don't believe in that. I have a friend who sends me Buddhist quotes.
You do know you're going to hell according to your belief.
Oh, whatever. I don't believe that though. I don't subscribe to it. My friend sends me Buddhist quotes.
Jesus
it's called Buddhism by
gang
day.
Bang.
You see how he be hating
I do.
on the truth?
And he's being a tribal.
He's
or whatever.
Ain't you one of my flock, cuz?
That is spiritual racism.
It is.
Look at him being spiritually racist.
It is.
Classifying us as a monolith. Look at you.
I'm just saying.
Classifying all it. But what I'm saying is.
Don't have your gang roll up on you.
Whatever. I don't represent a set. I'm a rogue. What are we talking about?
A rogue Christian.
I'm a rogue. Whatever. So, no, but anyway. My friend he's Buddhist or whatever. He has a book, Buddhism by Day. A lot of great life quotes in there. And I think that they're valid. Have I read their official doctrine? No, I have not. Like I just don't do that anymore.
And it works for you.
Yeah. I don't feel like I need to specifically, wholeheartedly subscribe to anything that's man-made.
And it works for you. And you know what?
And that's just where I'm at with
and
it.
like you said, as a man thinketh, and that's in the Bible, and you had an old Eastern proverb or whatever that said, thoughts become actions, and then your experience. That is ultimately, I thought about going over a guy's house over and over and over again. Hadn't been to his house in years. Had thought about it. And in my mind, I'm like, I'm not going over there, but had thought about it so much that when I showed up at the nigga house, I was like, that's really true. I really have to be careful what I think, what I continue to think because of an experience. Had read that several times, but when you experience something, I'll never, ever since then, I'm like, what am I thinking about? I can't think about that.
No, that's very interesting.
It is like thinking about, I'm gonna get a ticket. No, don't think about getting pulled over. Don't think about that type of stuff.
Right, because to me, that means you're God.
Well, I ain't say all that, but okay, whatever. Okay, well, you could think that.
To me,
I mean, we all been gifted with free will.
Who? I hear somebody back there screaming. Who is that? Is that Veronica?
No, I wasn't screaming. I was just.
Get on in here, Veronica.
Yeah, pick me.
I hear you, Veronica. Come on, baby. I heard. No, please.
Get on in here,
What
Veronica.
is that? Come on in here, Veronica.
Well, I think we have to do a little bit of spiritual reclamation here, because one of the things that I think gets missed is that Christianity comes from Kemet. It comes from ancient Egypt, right? It all started there, and it all started it all came out. It's metaphysical. It came from the mystery schools. One thing that people, it's funny. There's a symbol that I play with called the Biveka code, the Triveka code. All this came from the mystery schools, and these are codes that are used for manifestation. And so the Biveka code, for example, is two circles. It's like if you think about a Venn diagram, you have two overlapping circles. Well, that middle part of that symbol, right? If you turn it on its side, the Biveka code, these two circles, it's the symbol that is used today in Christianity as the fish, right? That fish, that arc, that double arc. But the thing is that because of the way it's gotten distorted as it's gotten handed down, the real secrets for manifestation did not get handed down, because those are actually being used by the elite today. So it's just like a symbol. So this very powerful symbol is just used for manifestation. They only gave Christianity a part of it because they gave Christianity a part of the real magic of the mystery schools. So I think if we can talk about, I just think we have to begin to understand the factual, historical basis around how religion got formed.
Oh, okay.
We have
So
to begin to do spiritual reclamation around it.
I got you.
Cook
so
up
you
that
mean
cocaine.
So you mean like Socrates, Plato, right? Aristotle, all them fools waiting 20, 40 years to get into the Egyptian mystery schools, right? So when you talk about Christianity having its origins in Africa, right? In Ethiopia, which is, by the way, that ain't the name of the place. That Ethiopia is a fucking Greek word, which means burnt people. Right.
Where was Rhodesia?
Right. So when you go back, hold on, that's South Africa. When you go back to Ethiopia, right? Abyssinia is what it was, right? When you go back there, now you're coming to the juncture of the two Niles, the White Nile and the Blue Nile, right? Where it goes into Ethiopia and Sudan. When you go back there, that back in the day used to be considered north. And the Egyptians would say, because the Nile runs north, right? From south to the north, right? And to them, north was south and south was north, right? It was backwards. What we would consider backwards. So the Egyptians would say our origins is in the north, but they're pointing down towards Sudan. This is when they found those pyramids in Sudan that predate the pyramids in Egypt. So now let's just do the history here, right? The first form of Christianity is out of Ethiopia. What do the Ethiopians call Jesus? They call him Jesus, right? And Amharic is the language they speak. But what is the other name they call him?
Emmanuel?
Horus.
Oh.
Straight from Egypt. The winged The falcon god, the son of Osiris is Horus.
Yeah.
So when we get Horus, we get hours. Our English word hours from Horus. We get horizon from Horus. We get the sun walking on the water because of the sun rising.
We get Horace Grant.
I'm gonna bite her calf off.
You know I gotta represent the Bulls. Okay, keep going.
I'm just saying, like, when we start looking at all of this stuff, all Christianity is, modern day Christianity, is a westernized European remix of ancient African traditions.
It's rock and roll.
Right?
That leaves the African out of it.
That leaves the African out of the equation.
That leaves the African out of it.
So now this comes back. Can we really have relationship with each other if we lack knowledge of self?
Ooh,
if we lack knowledge of spirituality, our spirituality told from our narrative.
That we created.
Yikes.
The hardest thing is to love somebody who don't know themselves.
So how equally yoked are we really?
Let the callers answer.
Yeah, I guess I should.
This board is going crazy.
Got they phone on speaker.
They are like, I want to tell you. I want to tell you.
Let's get somebody in real quick. Did we lose Carl? We better not have lost Carl, because if we did.
He told us he was smoking.
All right.
Oh, Carl's still here. How about
Carl
it?
is right
I'm
there.
just enjoying you guys reiterating how much of a mindfuck religion really is. We were just discussing the law of attraction and how your thoughts create things, and how if we believe we're all sinners, we're all really destroying our own lives. You know, I was thinking one day, isn't eating the flesh of another person and drinking their blood, isn't that a satanic ritual?
Yeah, cannibalism too, while you're at it. Yeah. And somebody just said, you know what, I have the authority. I have the authority to say that the Eucharist is, the bread is actually the body of Jesus. Who gave you that authority?
That's twisted, man.
Come on.
Could you imagine Jesus saying, yeah, dude, when I'm gone, eat me and drink my blood? Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
I just can't.
I can't.
That's pretty twisted, man.
Hey. But when you rode over here on a ship called the Good Ship Jesus in the hull, you're going to do what you need to do to make it through.
You know,
that's fucking hurtful.
I saw the other day on CNN some shot of the Vatican, and there was a huge ball of incense swinging back and forth from the ceiling. But what the Catholics so conveniently covered up was that for hundreds of years, they controlled the entire opium trade. And they used to put opium in the incense so that the villagers would come down and get wrecked out of their minds
and have an experience.
And that way they, that's right. Then they'd come back every weekend for that experience.
That's absolutely true.
Wow.
And people don't even realize they're swinging the incense today symbolically. I still wonder what's in there.
Fucking Reverend Copperfield just came full circle, magic tricks and shit. Let's get a caller in here. Maurice from Georgia, line 5. You're on the Voice of Reason. Holler at us, Maurice. Wake your ass up and talk to us about this conversation.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
What's happening, man?
Reese.
Yeah, Rona, Reinhardt, Veronica, Mr. Carl. I'm going to call you Zotuzela because you're an old-ass motherfucker, man. You're an old-ass nigga.
Zotuzela?
962 years old.
Well,
I wanted to say this. Though if those that were in power had a picture of your Miss Emma Sue's great-great-great-grandmother, and those that were in power, they told you all sorts of evil and wicked things about what she done, but they were lying, but they had her at their disposal that you didn't know her, but they knew her, and they could just portray her as being this worst specimen of a being that ever lived. They could get you to believe that when they present that to you, and you wouldn't know. Let's say you didn't know it was your great-great-great-grandmother. But what I'm saying is, but once you came into the truth about who she really was, because there was somebody else that didn't do what those that had power to portray her that way, someone came along and blew the whistle and said, Zoe, that's your that's Emma Sue's great-great-great-grandmother. She was nothing like that. Then you would have to dispel what they said about her. But this is what I'm saying about beliefs. about how people dog what a lot of you call dogma. You know what I'm saying? You know, they have the power to do that, but what if there is the ultimate truth in there? This is what I'm saying. You see how they can sway you from what really is true. But I want to say this: it's your belief. Is what we believe in. Is it the truth? Can it be substituted for the truth? What we believe in and what we read. And I'm gonna say this: 98% of what we read and what you've learned about Egyptian culture and all of that, Horus and all that, that was written by 98% of white people. Mm-mm. And we're taking their word as to be the line, the air, the dirt, the sky, the stars. We can see that stuff. And I'm not going in what you see, you believe, and what you hear, you believe. I'm not doing that. But we can see those things. These people wrote what you've learned about what they're talking about. We weren't. The trouble is, we weren't there in the beginning. But there is a such thing called the truth. There is a such thing called the truth. And I'm gonna say this about Christianity. Christianity is heroin laced with vomit, shit, gay. Name anything that's just utterly disgusting to you. That's what Christianity is to me. Because it's not truth, for one. But there is such a thing as truth. There is such a thing as truth. And I want to say this. We all have to believe in something. And I don't bash anybody for what they believe in. But what I want is the truth to prevail.
Got you.
That's what I want.
Hey, Maurice, let me just say this, man. I appreciate you calling, but this is what you got to do the next time you call in. You can't use your real name now. You can't call yourself Maurice no more. Okay. You got to call yourself, I'm going to say this. That's got to be your new name. I'm going to say this.
Say this again. I thought you was my boy.
You are, man. We peoples. But you got to use that.
And I know this is not that kind of show, but can I ask Carl this?
Yeah.
How old am I?
How many lives you've lived?
How old are you? How many regarding incarnation? You an old scholar soul. 864.
864 lives? 865 lives?
Mm-hmm.
Now you get your geriatric ass off my line. You's an old soul, Maurice. Hey, man, we appreciate you calling in all the time, man. Thanks again, man.
Bye.
Woo! We got to take a quick break. This show is heavy. The phone lines are beating down the door. Carl, I know souls are tapped into us right now like crazy, man. We just, like I said, man, we know these conversations are difficult, but listen, we got to have them and we got to have fun with them. I appreciate everybody who takes the time to reach out to us, 844-55-1. I'm going to take a quick break. When I come back, I'm going back to the phone lines, man. Let's get it going. We'll see you in a second. Yeah. The voice of reason is turned. It is turned up in here.
Ah, yes.
Reverend Copperfield, magician, smoking mirrors, the Wizard of Oz, turning perfectly God-capable people. God, when I say God-capable, I always tell sisters, stop looking for a God-fearing man and find a God-realized one. But once he gets to church, he gets transformed from God-realized to God-fearing. God and fear shouldn't go together. I mean, that's a toxic relationship, God and fear.
Do we have anybody on the line from down south? I want to know what down south people think about it.
What you want them to do? Thump this radio station with a Bible?
No, I want to hear their opinions.
Well, I don't want any Bible thumpers.
I want to hear their opinions.
I thought we was open-minded people,
Kind of, sort of.
His hat is tight. He got an attitude.
He got that red thing around the back.
That's all right. I'll get some folk in here from the South.
Pull your socks down while you
We got somebody. Okay, one more, and then I'm gonna unleash. We got somebody on here from Dallas, line 1, Aaron. Speak on it, Aaron.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? How y'all doing?
What's up, pimple still skin? What's happening?
Hey, man, chilling, man. I could go so many angles with this. I love when y'all talk about the religion thing because it's crazy nowadays. But I met a young lady a while back, and we used to go out and have a good time. And one night we was at the house chilling, and she decided to tell me how she used to be a pastor. She was an ordained pastor, like for real. And she told me how she had to step away from it because she didn't like how the church treated her in certain ways. And she said the one thing she didn't like was being a hypocrite. She said, I can't sit here and tell these people to do a certain thing and do this, and I'm living a secret life outside of church, fucking all the time and doing other stuff. She's like, I can't sit there and do that. That wouldn't be right. So she told me she had to step away from that. And the whole moral of the story is, if God, to me, I think we're put on this earth to realize who we are. Like, there are so many people in this world who don't even know who they are. And I think God would rather want us to know who we are and to be us and try to, instead of faking, to be something else just to please him, to go to so-called heaven or whatever.
I don't think God is even concerned about being pleased.
He doesn't. I don't think he has emotions like that. I think he's I got your God classic, and I think you said like God is above emotions. Like he doesn't have emotions. Or he doesn't get mad. He doesn't get happy or sad. Yeah.
Or I don't even know what I can't even put it in. What is it?
Energy.
And we can't explain it because God is so much higher above us. We can't explain it. It can't be put in a book. There's no way we can understand God. I just know that there is a God. There's a reason why we're here. Well, why we're on this earth.
What's my man, Aaron?
Oh, go ahead.
Aaron.
Yeah.
Maybe we can understand God through our experience. See, because this is the thing that and Carl and Veronica and the team, you guys can help me on this. I think each and every individual, this is just me talking, I think each and every individual is an expression of God. Because I don't think God ends at the border where you begin. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, God ends and then I begin. No, it's everything, right? It's all one thing. And I think you can tap into whatever it is. I don't know. I don't think we have the intellect to really comprehend it. But I think through your life, you understand what I'm struggling with it.
I feel like we're the physical manifestations of experience, and everything that we experience are the things that God experiences through us himself. I think I said like previously on like a show before I read, and which is not a biblical or religious book at all, The Science of Getting Rich, where Wallace Waddle speaks on, the things that we enjoy in life, good food, good comfort, good surroundings, are things God enjoys himself. And when we enjoy those things, that is along the lines of God enjoying those things as well. Like we're here in physical manifestation form.
God get tipsy?
Don't. Oh, I thought you was going to say something stupid.
No, it's...
First of all, you think God enjoys getting drunk?
I think it's...
I'm confused.
See, I think it comes back to us trying to humanize God and deify humans, like we all the same and whatever. We're here to contribute to the earth, experience love, and manifest. Like that's what it is.
Well, let's get some more country people, because country people tend to know more than the people in the room. Yes, I'm publicly hated.
Hey, one last thing, man. Hey, can y'all get that landlord Jesus to come over here and fix my garbage disposal?
Ain't that sound crazy? Isn't that sound crazy? I couldn't even believe that.
That's hilarious.
I just swore they made that up.
Hey, Ronnie, better get on down.
Hey,
you better get on down, baby.
Aaron, I thank you for the call. Thanks, bro. Let's get line 3 in here. Arkansas. Here's a thumper.
Okay.
Luke. Named after one of the books in the Bible. Welcome, Luke.
Maybe he was named after Uncle Luke. Oh, you calm down. From
the
2 Live Crew.
From the Dukes of Hazzard?
No.
Bo and Luke Duke?
No.
Oh, okay.
Doodoo Brown Luke. Anyway.
Okay. Luke from Arkansas. Speak to us.
It's actually Blue.
Your name is Blue?
Yeah.
Oh, what up, cuz?
Hey. My thing about religion is I'm only dealt with Christianity, so I can't really speak on the other ones. But I feel like if anybody is going to lie to you with a straight face, then you shouldn't be following that person. And most people, they preacher will get up there and tell them that their offering is going to God. Last time I checked, Jesus doesn't have a bank account. So that's, I mean, you know what I'm saying? So if they're going to lie to you about where your money is going, they're going to lie to you about what they're teaching you. They say you have truth. So it's kind of believable, but it don't really make sense. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Or the sexism.
And then second is people talk in church. If you ask them, do they believe in God? Everybody's going to raise their hand, but nobody asks who your God is. I've noticed a lot of people in church say they believe in God, but everybody's God is different. Some people worship money, some people worship cars. So everybody is not on the same page in church. And it's like if you're reading the same Bible, how are you all getting different interpretations of it?
Who says they even read it?
Interesting.
That's the third point. You know what I'm saying? And for a pastor to sit in the church and know that your members are not educated on the Bible like they should be, that reflects that on the teacher, not the student.
Wow. Good point. Thank you. Thank you, Blue from Arkansas. We appreciate that.
Blue put it down.
Listen, I'm going to take one more caller. Let's get a female. Well, we got a couple of callers. Jeez. We gotta run through it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it quick. Nikkei.
Yay,
LA.
Nikkei.
Line 6. Let's go. Nikkei.
Hello.
Got to do it quick. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye.
That was a Jade song.
Line 5. Isaiah. Speak on it.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hey Isaiah.
What's happening, man?
Hey, I just wanted to make the point that in the movie Malcolm X, Brother Baines had Malcolm read through the dictionary, and they looked up the definitions of black and white, and Malcolm turned to Brother Baines and said, well, why are we reading a white man's book? And the brother looked at him and said, because the truth is lying there if you read behind the words. And it's actually, I'm glad you played that KRS-One song about the questions, because the Bible tells you that, you know, the first human beings on earth were black, right there in Genesis 11. And the thing that the main frustration I have with that is that everybody espouses a religion, but nobody wants to do the work of studying the esoteric part of religion.
Right. Well, the esoteric part was taken out. We have to, right. You have to remember that. And a lot of people don't. First off, esoteric or occult has been labeled as evil. You got to remember that.
Right.
Yeah. Right. 1611, King James, he translates the Bible from the Latin Vulgate version of the Bible. The Latin Vulgate, right? We don't even want to get into Shakespeare's little...
He had Shakespeare do it. It's right there in Psalms 46.
But no, something's very important in this little piece here, right? And I know the Psalms verse where it's shake at the top and then spear at the bottom where he puts his name in. I get it. But the point that I'm trying to make is that Vulgate. The word Vulgate comes from the Latin word vulgus, means commoner, means unlearned, spiritually dumb, stupid. This is where our word layman comes from. One who is not of the cloth, one who isn't of the priesthood. That comes directly out of Egypt. Only the Egyptian priests could read hieroglyphs. Everybody else couldn't read.
Right.
So just understand, this is how they make the priesthood makes themselves important and necessary to the lives of the commoner. Right. So when King James translates the 1611 Bible, it's from the Vulgate. He took all of the esoteric or the gnosis out of it. The gnosis makes you independent. The knowledge, the spiritual knowledge makes you independent. You have to be dependent on the institution of an intercessor between you and God.
Right, and that's ironic to me because even Jesus himself says in one of the, I can't remember what scripture he said it, but he turned to his own disciples and said, You're looking at all of the great things I'm doing. I'm telling you that you can do greater because the kingdom of God is within you. Why are you looking for it?
It's
already here.
He was on the boat. He was on the water.
Peter actually walked.
Peter got a step off.
And it was within himself that he fell. It was
Oh,
within
ye
himself
of
that he
little
walked.
faith.
And it was within himself. Your faith has made you whole.
And these dudes wasn't even Christians then. Thank you for the call,
They
Isaiah.
really weren't.
Appreciate you, man.
You better get on down, Isaiah.
That was good, man. Amen Ra, exactly. What we would like to do
I love it.
is our summations. Let's summarize.
Sexy music.
I'm just saying, when people leave, we only got a few minutes. When people leave this show, we want to give them something to chew on when they leave, based on the topic we had. I want to start with Carl. Carl, you got 35 seconds to change the lives of millions of people right now. Let's go, Carl.
Well, if only God is great, then the whole concept of infinity, it seems pretty preposterous that somebody could have a monopoly on infinity. But the realities of Campus Earth is for the individual soul. And the reality of the individual soul is honored in the Constitution by law here in this country, and this is the future of the planet. It's all the gathering together of all the religions and all the souls and all the people and all the races and all the colors, because we're creating something new.
Wow.
The God Nation.
Man,
So
I
I'm here to
appreciate
say
you.
the world is a safe place.
The world is a safe place. I appreciate you, man. Carl be coming in here smacking people around. Veronica Conway, 30 seconds.
I would just say, when you fall madly in love with yourself and with your soul, you truly will see God.
Oh,
Wow.
yes, Veronica.
Jesus. Wow, that hurt. Aarona Lopez,
Oh, yes.
30 seconds.
Folks, ask questions, educate yourself, and live with love. That's all you can do.
And then your badass friend, Tyree. Go ahead.
Anyway,
You got 29 seconds.
allow yourself to literally receive God's love throughout the day. Allow yourself to just receive God's love. Sometimes we feel like God is some entity up in the sky that's mad at you, that's keeping a scorecard of how many times you mess up. He just loves you. Allow yourself to be loved. Open up. And follow me on Instagram at Tyree Elaine, Tyree.
You see how the Christian just got herself in there real quick? And then
That's me and Jesus Instagram. That's our page.
you and Jesus together.
Let me change the
You got
profile
pictures of y'all
picture.
going on prom?
Yeah,
Right.
let me change the profile picture right now.
They have Magic Mountain together with the same shirt on. Anyway,
Hashtag squad.
Give it up for Zoe.
listen, I don't proclaim to know anything. And I think that's the key. I think the essence of God is unknowable. But I know that God, something, I don't even want to use the word because it's been bastardized. But that force, source, energy, whatever, powers the whole get down. It powers the classroom. It powers the textbook. It powers the experience. It powers what you learn. And just be open to, seeing it, allowing it to unfold and unfold within and beyond you. And hopefully your relationships can, have some calm, beautiful waters where you guys can just chill. But please know, you're going to have to batten down the hatches when it comes to relationships. Oh, the water is going to get choppy. That's what it's about. Man, I love everybody here except for Tyree.
I love you too, despite you.
We're going to kumbaya once we get out of here.
No, seriously, though, I love everybody who participates on this show. We don't have all the answers, but we want you to participate anyway. And start the journey. Now, Friday, we talking about porno. No, I'm just kidding. Friday is our end of the week show, and we're going to turn up. We're going to act crazy. We're going to have a great time. We appreciate everybody, and we'll see you Friday, 5 to 7 p.m. Hot Button Radio, the voice of reason. We out.